Hello, welcome back everybody. Just want to talk about one aspect of the game which is very huge, and it is called research. There is a shit ton of research to do in this game, and chances are, all of us will quit and move on to a different game before we get done with it. But for the time that you're here, the time that you're playing, uh, there's a few researches that you can do that'll give you the most bang for your buck for your time. So let's first look at it. So the first one you want to focus on is the military tree. This is a fighting game at its core. Yeah, you can gather and you can do all this other shit if you want, but if you want to get your armies as strong as they possibly can be, you want to focus on this tree right here, and you want to max it out. Because when you max it out, you get the strongest troop types, which are royals or T4s. So once you unlock those, that's when you start somewhat of the post game. And what I mean by that is you got the main research done. Now, in order to get all of this done, what you have to do is you have to have every building inside of your city wall at level 25. Okay? So your hospital level 25, your barracks at 25, your wall at 25, your bannerman hall at 25, your embassy at 25, your blacksmith at 25, tavern you don't fucking do anything with, warehouse, rookery, you need the dungeon and the hall of faces. The iron bank you don't need. The market you're gonna need because the market is uh, is really cool, but it's mainly deals with total attack, which everybody needs, but transport capacity is also a good one to have as well. So once you have all of those at level 25 and your Maester's Tower, which is where your research is, you have it at 25, you can then unlock everything in this tree. Because what will happen is if you don't have all of your buildings at level 25, all of this stuff will stop at 9, level 9, and it'll tell you that you're not meeting the requirements, and the requirement is that you have your buildings increased. Once you unlock these to level 10, then these will appear, and you can start to unlock each individual troop type as T4. Another thing that you need to do in order to get these from level 9 to level 10 in the military tree is focus on your production. So production is a prerequisite for your military tree, and you need all of these at level 10 up to diamond prospecting. Diamond prospecting you don't have to worry about. That does not have to be at level 10. That does not have to be at level 1. It could be simply nothing. But everything from diamond prospecting and back has to be at level 10 in order to unlock everything in the military tree. So once you have everything unlocked in the military tree, now you're looking at a lot of different stuff. But what I can tell you is from my experience, the best thing you can do to help your alliance mates is focus on expedition and pacification. What this does is this will dramatically increase your damage when it comes to rebel leaders. We all know the more rebel leaders you kill, and the faster you gain motivation, uh, the more pieces you can start to upgrade of your gear. And the more pieces you start to upgrade of your gear, the better gear you're going to have for your lord. Better gear you have for your lord, the more increase you're going to apply to your stats when it comes to equipment. So, next thing I think of most importance is expedition and pacification. Not only does that allow you to increase your equipment, this also, killing rebel leaders, helps your alliance. And the reason why it does that is because every time you kill a rebel leader, it grants a chest for that particular rebel leader. And once you claim those chests, you get currency that you could spend in the Alliance events, such as Siege of Winterfell, um, Alliance Mobile, or not Alliance Mobile, but Alliance Conquest, and Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead is not really worth spending Alliance currency on, but Siege of Winterfell and Alliance Conquest certainly is. And the more you have of this, the more heals and speed ups you can buy, and this, that, and the other that you'll need, that everyone uses in those events. Another thing that happens is when you kill a rebel leader and claim the chests, is you get these keys, and these keys directly affect the alliance level. So currently, our alliance level is level 11. So we're at level 11 rewards. So what that means is every time you claim these chests, it gives you a certain amount of resource or speed up or alliance coins or um, blue diamonds at least even. So when you claim these, you could get a certain level of these rewards. And the higher your alliance level is the higher quality of the rewards that you will get. So the best thing that you can do to help everybody, including yourself, because everybody's killing rebel leaders, is to make your chances of getting gold or purple of these speed ups or whatever, resources, diamonds, to go up as much as possible. Because the higher the level are you, the better you get. So we'll delete this now. So when you complete your expedition and pacification, this means that you will be able to kill every single rebel leader in the game that appears, including level 5s, which usually only appear around King's Landing. Um, Depending on your map placement, may depend on whether or not you even unlock level 5s. For the longest time, I didn't because we weren't anywhere near King's Landing and we had no chance of really killing level 5s anyway. But if you're close to King's Landing and that's where your hive is, then certainly unlock the level 5s, start hammering down on them because the higher the level rebel leader you kill, the more points and keys you gain to boost your alliance level. So it doesn't help very much. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't help very much for me to kill level 1s. I can one-shot them all day and I can kill a bunch of them and it'll be fine. But the alliance will gain a level faster if we all choose to kill level 5s or level 4s versus level 1s or level 2s or level 3s. Now, I understand everybody can't really, one or two shot a level 3 or a level 4, and nobody, I don't think, can one shot a level 5 in the game, even the massive whales that have everything done. But it benefits your alliance to do the highest level possible that you can. Okay? So after expedition and pacification, I would say the next most important would be refinement. Now, refinement is very easy to complete this tree to a certain point. And the reason why I say that is because most of these are just one shots. So this goes up to 10, but this is just one and done. So you unlock the next level in your refinement. And when you unlock refinement, what that does is allow you to refine a piece of equipment with the stats that you have rolled on it even further to where you get more of a boost for what you have. So for example, this piece of equipment that I have in refinement is up to purple level and my rallied army marching speed is at 16.57. If this was gray, I think the highest it can be is like 3 or 4%. I can't remember. Let's see, 1.5 or 4 or something around there, right? So it benefits you the most to get these as high as you possibly can and unlock those as much as you can in the refinement tree. So let's look at the refinement tree again. So at towards the end of the refinement tree, what you're going to find is you're going to find Badge Master. Now, to unlock Badge Master, this is no easy feat. And the reason why is because it takes a long time to unlock this. Once you start this research, I think it's like 300 or 400 days. Um, Now, what that does is everyone up to that point will not have this fourth badge slot. It will be grayed out, X'd over, whatever you want to call it. You're not able to use it. You can only put on 3 badges. By unlocking Badge Master, it unlocks that slot to where you can put an additional badge on to make your armies even that much stronger that has your lord in it, right? So your goal should be to at least unlock Badge Master. I know this one takes a long time to unlock, but if you're patient enough and you save your speed ups, the damage is not that bad. I think it took me like a month, maybe a month and a half of doing nothing but starting this and then saving some speed ups and then just completing it when I had enough. Next thing after that is badge planning, and what that does is allow you to unlock a pre-edited badge configuration. Now this is pretty important for people that want to change their formations on the fly, and when they do that, the best way to have the most optimal formation that you have is to have your badges just automatically selected and swapped to the way you want it. So what I mean by that is if, for example, I'm toting Inf Cav and all my badges are Inf Cav supporting, I can change quickly to Spear Cav and then go back into that equipment selection, hit badge, and then I can change my badges to Spear Cav to complement that. So now all my badges are changed. So pretty quick and easy way to get a counter formation going if you're attacking an enemy, or just want to change it because somebody's attacking you and you think you can beat them with you know, countering their formation that you think that they're attacking you with. Again, in order to select the badges you want, you have to go to this badge selection here and put them back on InfCav because I like InfCav. But now, you don't have to complete one tree at a time. You can skip around a little bit. It depends on where you are in the game at the time and what your goals are as far as building or whatnot, but that's the refinement tree. And for the most part, it's a pretty quick completion up until Badge Master, and Badge Master takes forever, but it's just one. It's just one of that research that takes the longest time. The next one you can work on is, your formations. So you want to unlock your formation selection at least to this point, where you can go spearman infantry or cavalry infantry, or the beginning one, which everybody starts out with, which is infantry cav. The rest of this is beneficial depending on what you're trying to do in the game, but for the most part, you can pretty much select any formation you want in the game with the 3 that you have unlocked once you get to this point. So what I mean by that is, well, exactly, I don't have Spearman Cav because it's not on here. It's not one to select. Hang on, reset's coming. Well, what you can do to alternate that, if you want a Spear Cav formation, you can select Spear Infantry and leave the infantry out and put Cav in. So if you leave the infantry out, that means it's essentially Spear Cav. And the same thing you can do with cavalry infantry. If you wanted cavalry infantry for some reason, cav front, infantry rear, then you just leave out the spearmen and your cavalry infantry. So that's one that you want to get after refinement, or before refinement, or while you're doing refinement, whatever you feel like that's going to benefit you the most at that time. The next thing you would like to do is this one here. So everything here in advanced military is going to reduce your cost for training troops. Not the time, but the cost of the resources. And there's some other things in here too, like first aid, which grants you hospital healing speed, marching speed for pathfinding, and your drill instructor, which increases your training soldier amount, um, training speed, and then you have procedures, which will give you an extra deployable army that you can march because everybody has five, but this will grant you a sixth. Um, Very beneficial for gathering or something like that. But the most important reason is why people do advanced military is to unlock these talent, troop, and equipment archives. So your talent archives are these are your sort of your these are your quick saves, right? So you can select your talents how you want them. So all you have to do each time to reset a talent is a couple of clicks and all your talents are reset because you have them pre-saved for what you want to do. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. Same thing with equipment and same thing with your troop formations. And I'll show you all of these in a minute. So for equipment archive, let's start with equipment because it's going to be the first one. For equipment archive, it's this little guy right here. So you go into your character and you select this. These are equipment archives. So I've got one for research. So if I apply that one, I'm going to be geared for the research that I need to do at the time. If I'm wanting to fight with infantry cav, and I hit that one, boom, I'm ready to go for infantry cav. If I want to attack rebel leaders, boom, I got that one set up for mountain clan gear. So I get the most for my rebel leaders. If I'm gathering, I got one for that, and then I got my other formation of Spear Cav, and then an additional one that I haven't really used yet. I'll get around to it. Badges are the same way. We've already went over that. So next will be talents. So you have this little button that appears when you unlock the talent archive. You can hit archives, and you have these presets, one of which I haven't used yet, of nothing but your talents. So I have one for Inf Spear, Inf Cav, Training, Gathering, and Research. There's only a certain number of characters you can put here, but that's what how I abbreviated it for myself. So and then Spear Cav, and then I got one that I'm going to work on for Bow Attack because I want to be able to change quickly to that if somebody's attacking me so I can just wreck them, right? Because bows are best for defense. I have one here for training, gathering, and research. So let's look at it. So this is how it's set up. So I go all the way down the talent tree until I get to the troop training one. And then I go all the way down to the talent tree on the left side until I get to the next troop training one. So I select this whenever I'm training troops. I select this whenever I'm whenever I'm researching, and gathering, if I've got it on, it gives me a boost as well. So on the right is all your production. So I basically, my aim is research. So I go all the way down till I hit the research, keep going, and then I put it on carrying capacity, gathering speed, research speed again, because that's paramount, gathering speed, army carry capacity, because that's going to help you with your gathering, and then I'm out of talent points, which really, none of this stuff really appeals to me anyway, because I don't produce gold. I've got an alt that does that for me. I'm not worried about iron production or stone production or wood production um, because I've got alts that do that for me, or I gather it. So this is my training, gathering, and research uh, preset for my talents. Now, my fighting talents, this one is for infantry. Let's do infantry cav. So this one is for infantry cav formation. So what I do is I'll go army attack, which is paramount, cavalry attack, which is in my formation, cav, spears. I don't have spear in infantry cav formation. I only have infantry and I only have cavalry. So I skip over that one, but you're required to put a little bit in there to get to the next level. So you just put what you need to in there to get to the next level, which is infantry attack, and then I max it out. Army defense, max it out. Army health, max it out. Another spear, only enough to get to the next level, and so on and so forth until you run out of talent points. And I'm out of talent points down here at the Army defense. So that's pretty much how you set those up. And you can name these whatever you want, right? So you hit this and you can type in whatever you want it to say. So for the, what was the other one? Let's go back. Troop formations. So this is how you set up your armies, your army presets. So you go here to the training grounds, I guess that's, no, military grounds. Configure army, and I've got three. So I've got one for gathering. So I really don't need this one. It is what it is, but I'll change it at some point to probably bow or some shit. I'm not sure. But this is only for attacking armies. Um, so my Inf Cav has Seg, Lats, Rob, Enzo, and my newest addition is Rhea at Gold. Uh, and you can edit these as well. So what this does is allow you to choose your dragon, your commanders that will benefit you the most. It gives you the stats of how they apply with your Lord bonus and everything. If you hover over them, it'll tell you what your talents are, how it affects it. Once you select your commanders, then you select your troops that you want in that army. And once you select the troops that you want in that army and your formation, because you can click these four little dots here and it'll change your formation. I don't have these three unlocked. I do have these, but I don't consider these important to me right now because I can do pretty much anything I want in the game with the one I have right here. So once you select your troop types that you want in your army, and I have T4, so I choose around 70, 75K T3 infantry of my front line, a little bit of Royal Infantry for the front line, and the rest cav. I hit save, and the formation is saved. So whenever I go to attack someone, I can quick select this and not have to choose each commander, my dragon, the amount of troops that I want. It's already loaded up for me if I hit this. Same with Spear Calf. The Gather, I'm not even going to go into it because it was something I did early on and I just haven't changed it. So that's the research when it comes to advanced military. Now, after advanced military, your goal, well, in advanced military, your goal is to not only unlock these equipment archives because they make your life a hella easier, but your goal is to reduce the amount of cost for your T4s. And that's what this is here. And what this does is infantry cost reduction of 4%. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but T4s are very expensive, and you want to do everything that you can to cut down the cost. But if you get to level 10, it reduces it pretty significantly at 30%. So your goal should be, and it's a long grind, I'm not even going to lie, this whole tree is a long grind, but your goal should be at this T4, if you have T4 unlocked, reducing the cost of them by 30%. So if you lose them, it's not as much of a punch in the groin as it is if you lose them without this, right? Because it's going to take a hell of a lot of resources to get them back. The end of the tree is new procedures. You gain an additional army marching size, so you can have a total of 7 at that point. Um, 7 marching armies is kind of crazy, but you know, it's there, right? After that, it's really how you want to play the game. You know, great city military, if you occupy great cities, this might be the tree for you, right? Because it increases the amount of troops that you can have in the great city. It boosts their attack, defense, health, all sorts of stuff in here. So you just have to click on these to see what they do, right? So transport capacity, right? But you get to the meat and the potatoes down here, and it's infantry attack. It increases that, you know, pretty significantly as you level it up to 10%. 10% is nothing to shy about because we like to squeeze every little percentage out that we possibly can when it comes to giving us an edge over an enemy. Um, Next, next, it's really up to you, but that's what Great City Military is. Iron Defense is pretty interesting, and this is coming into play with a lot of bow builds. So what you want to do is if you want to focus on a bow build, the best thing you can do is to make your city wall, last as long as it possibly can during a battle. So your wall, well, each battle lasts around 45 seconds. So out of that 45 seconds, if you could keep your wall up half or a third of that time, that's less time that the enemy is hitting your troops. And the less time the enemy is hitting your troops, the less troops you're going to lose because time will end up running out. Um, so it gives you survivability during a battle. So here in Iron Defense, what this is, your main goal is to, you know, increase your wall defense as much as possible. Now I've started working on this a little bit, and there's some fortification stuff in here too. It is what it is. So, but durability is what you're looking for. That's how you get the most bang for your buck. And as you go, it's going to increase it pretty dramatically up to 135% just on that one. And there's several. So City Wall Health gives you another 100%. And there is a bunch of fortification stuff. This is how many fortifications you can hold. The more fortifications you can hold, the more troops you kill. Here's another City Wall Health. So there's another 100%. So that's, close to, that's over 300% just in City Wall Health. And there's another City Wall Health that will give you an additional 100%. So the more you can get in this tree, the better off you're going to be when it comes to bow builds and defense of your city. This enhanced defense, max defense, so you're going to have 30,000 more troops here. But it can go up to, 300,000, or is that 3 million? It's 3 million. So you can have more than 3 million troops available for a defense. It's pretty significant. That can mean the difference between surviving a whale hit and not. So iron defense is a good choice. Refinement we already went over. Commandership, this is, it is what it is. If you feel this is important to you, then go for it. I think, in my opinion, there's better options, like what we just mentioned previously. Formations we already went over, and advanced defense we just went over. Now, city defense is essentially the same as advanced defense. However, this is where you unlock your fortifications. So similar to military, where you unlock T4 at the end of that tree, at the end of this tree, what you do is unlock T4 defenses. Now that may seem badass to you, but I guarantee you it doesn't work the same way as T4 troops. These T4 defenses are rather weak. They're certainly better than T3 defenses. I advise everybody to get up to this point, at least to T3 defenses. And then, if you feel the need to go for T4 defenses, there's nothing wrong with that. It certainly helps for bow builds because the more troops you can kill out front on your wall, the better off you're going to be, the more survivability you're going to have. But if you're rolling with a zero castle, why the hell work on your wall, right? I mean, because you're not going to lose anything. Anytime you get hit, if you have troops exposed, they're going to go to the hospital because you being a zero castle means you don't build above your hospital capacity or your shelter capacity or however you want to add that up, right? So this would be a waste for a zero castle to put a bunch of research in to get T4 defenses because you're not really going to do you're not holding your own when it comes to being attacked. All you're going to do is just let the guy hit a zero castle. That pretty much explains research and what I feel is important to me. Now, what I feel is important to me may not be important to some folks. It may not be important to some accounts, maybe a farm account, the most important thing is production and, you know, not formations, but um, was it formations? No, wasn't formations. Commandership. Maybe commandership is important for a farm account. So if you're using an account to gather resources or transport resources or a bank or whatever the case may be, maybe you want to boost the amount that you can hold, and that's what these do. Increases your capacities, um, the amount of gold dragons capacity, and there's other things here too. It increases your marching speed and whatnot, your iron bank investment. There's a bunch of stuff here you can read on it, but what's important to me is having fun with the game, attacking people, and doing the most damage as possible, and repelling an attack. So iron defense is important to me. Refinement's important to me. Certainly military is important to me. Um, and maybe some great city military. I'll eventually get to that because there are times where I occupy great cities. But it's really up to the player, and it's up to you whether or not how you want to play your account, how you want to build it, what you want to focus on, and it's important that you pick the proper research that's going to complement that. You know where to find me. If you got any questions, let me know and have fun.